book up wide and meet adventures that wait for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's Online Storytime.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
I'm Teacher Missy.
And we are both so excited to have you here with us today. Hey Teacher Missy, before we start talking about that big rumbly thing we're going to talk about, should we sing?
I think we should.
Storytime friends, would you sing with us? Awesome, here we go. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. Or your elbows, or your knees, or your eyes. Nice job, Storytime friends. Hey, Teacher Missy, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, you know, we've got some stuff going on outside of the library here.
I know. I wish you all could be here with us. Those of you who live locally have probably already seen it, but they're fixing the facade of our building. Do you know what that big word facade means, Teacher Missy?
That's a big one.
It is.
Well, and what I'm noticing is that they're working along the edge of the building, like making it look better, or maybe stopping leaks, or I'm not really sure.
For many, many years, we've had a problem with water getting into this building. And when they fix the facade, they're actually fixing the walls of the building, around the windows of the building. And we have windows along the top. We have a lot of sun windows on the top of our roof. And they're fixing along those as well. So this has been a project that's already been going on for, I don't know, almost 2 months. And it will continue for about another month. But we have all of these big machines, including cranes.
I was going to ask you, how do they get way up there on top of that building? That's a long way up there.
It is, and they bring these huge, well, they have one really big crane, and hey, I'll take a picture and show you. It looks just like this. And that crane is right outside my office window.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I get to look at it and listen to it all day long.
Wow, that must be something. I was really looking at it when I came into the building this morning. It's big. It's just very, very tall, and it goes way up there.
And the cool thing is they can drive it to wherever they need it. Right now it's parked on the lawn.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing, and there's different kinds of cranes. I think they're like different kinds of tractors. I mean, there's lots of different.
Yep, and there's little ones, and we have like 3 or 4 little ones around, and then one big one around. And sometimes they have a hook on them to grab things. Sometimes they have clamps on them to grab like beams and such. There's lots of different things that they use. And the other thing I love about a crane is that the person who sits here can drive the crane where it needs to be, but then the person who sits back here, after they've parked the crane, that person operates the crane itself.
Oh, so it takes 2 people.
Yeah, well, or the person can drive and then get out and be the operator.
But it could.
Yeah, but it's so cool that this whole piece of equipment
does all that
is
stuff.
on another thing.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is very cool.
Yeah, it's been a really fun thing to be able to watch. So, Teacher Missy, by any chance, do you have any books about cranes?
Well, I just might, Miss Tracy. Miss Tracy, look what I found.
Oh my gosh, that's the longest crane I've ever seen.
It's enormous, isn't it? I wonder what they do with this kind of crane. Wow. Look how many tires it has.
That number is a bajillion.
It is a bajillion. Yeah, it is. And there's the driver. I only see one driver in this one. Boy, that's a lot of truck to drive. Well, the book is called Cranes, surprisingly enough. And it was written by Charles Lenny. And it comes to us from Abdo Kids. Yep. We're going to see about these cranes. Okay, I better find the first page, huh? Would that be a good idea?
That's probably a good plan.
Okay, we'll start right here. This looks like the first page. Cranes. Cranes mainly lift and move heavy objects. They help move materials at construction sites. And that's what Miss Tracy was talking about. Here, look at this. That's big lift on that thing. Woo! That's a lot to be hauling around. And somebody is operating that big machine. Crane parts. Most cranes have the same main parts. The operator sits in the cab, and a weight helps to balance the crane. The boom and jib act like long arms. They reach and they move things. Well, that's very cool. So that must be what this is right here. And the thing that the things they're moving are, I think, quite heavy. Nothing you could do by hand. The hook acts like a hand, and it holds the object. Some cranes move on tracks. Other cranes move on wheels. And if you look at this one, yeah, that's on a track. Isn't that a track, Miss Tracy?
Yes.
Yeah. And it just kind of plows through
Sure.
wherever it has to go. I bet it can go through the snow. Do you think, if it had to?
Yeah.
I bet it does. Different kinds. Cranes come in many sizes. Some cranes work inside of a workshop. Oh, this isn't a very big one, but you may have seen something similar to this when you go to either the grocery store or to Walmart. They have big carts that they sometimes reach boxes from the top. Not probably with a hook, but with a different attachment. Big cranes help build tall buildings. Wow, that is one tall building. That is tall. Some cranes are mounted on trucks. Others do not move at all. There are floating cranes, and they are used to build oil rigs. And they do that because they're out in the water. Wow, that's a lot. Look at all those hooks they've got on there. It's amazing to me. And that is our story about cranes. There's a lot of different kinds, and they do a lot of different jobs.
Absolutely.
Jobs I wouldn't want to do.
Hey, story time, friends. Teacher Missy.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to do a flannel?
Oh, I love your flannels.
Guess what? We're going to do a flannel today about a crane.
A flannel story about a crane?
I know, and we're going to do it while we're doing crane story time.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
That is crazy. All right. So we're going to do a crane poem here. But first of all, I realized when I was finishing up my crane, I finished it up last evening, and I made a mistake on the crane. Can anybody tell what my mistake is on the crane? Do some of you see it? Okay, well actually the mistake isn't about the crane itself. It's about what it's going to do. I put a hook on this crane, but this crane is going to lift these steel girders up onto this building.
Oh.
And they wouldn't use a hook for that. They would use some sort of a clamp for that.
Good catch.
Thank you. I didn't catch it soon enough, but I did catch it. So Storytime friends, just realize that we all know that maybe this should be a clamp instead of a hook. All right? All right, so our poem today is called Crane's New Garage, and here we go. The crane waits beside a great pile of steel, It wonders what'll be built. What's the deal? The operator climbs on. There he is. Turns the key, settles in, starts pulling on the levers, listening to the loud engine. The crane lifts a beam. Now we're going to pretend that my arm is the crane arm. The crane lifts a beam high up in the air, and they place it just so, with the utmost of care. A second beam waits, this one longer and weighs more. Can the crane still lift it and place it like before? Well, that seems to go right. Yeah, that works. The work continues, but the crane still thinks, what are we building? Maybe a hockey rink. Finally, the work is done. Time to say goodbye to the crew. Goodbye. But what have we made? Well, friend Crane, we have made a new garage for you. Hey, thanks for playing.
Tracy, check this out.
Oh my goodness, is that a crane operator?
That is a crane operator. That is a crane operator, and I don't know what kind of a crane, but the name of our book is Crane Jane. So I think her name must be Jane.
I think you're right.
That's what I think it is. This book was written by Andrea Zimmerman, and the pictures were done by Dan Iacarino. And it comes to us from Holiday House. And we're going to find out about this. If Miss Tracy doesn't make me laugh. Crane Jane. Crane Jane arrives down at the dock. It's time to work and punch the clock. Kertunk, 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 kertunk. Do you think that's the time clock making noises? The ships are in, so there goes Jane. She's climbing up her tall, tall crane. Tromp, 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 tromp. Ooh, that is a tall crane. Look at that, you guys. Wow. Jane's in her cab, controls in hand. The giant crane's in her command. Clang, 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 clang. Hook it, lift it off the ground. Easy, careful, swing it around. Thump. Jane's moved the cargo to the ship. Goodbye, freight. Enjoy your trip. Toot toot. The morning's work is at an end. Now time for lunching with a friend. Yow, yow, yow. The dark clouds come and breeze blows in. A big ship's docked. Jane's gotta go. Whoosh, whoosh. This ship's brought trucks all shiny and new. Now Jane has lots more work to do. Hook it, lift it from the hold. Keep it steady and controlled. Look at, she's taking those great big things off that ship. Hook it, lift it from the hold. Keep it steady and controlled. What do you suppose would happen if she lost control of it?
Ooh, that would be scary.
Yeah, that would be very scary. It could be very dangerous, so she has to be very careful. Pay very close attention. Then wilder winds begin to blow. The final load swings to and fro. Oh no. Whoosh, whoosh, stop the swaying. creaks the crane. Danger, danger, too much strain. Eek, eek, eek. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The wind is strong. The weather is rough. She grits her teeth. Crane Jane is tough. Jane does her best to save the truck, but is she running out of luck? Those tricky gulls have got away to help their friend and save the day. Back and forth, they shift their weight. Can you see all the gulls on here? Those are seagulls sitting on top of that truck. They teeter and totter till it's straight. Great. Yow, yow, yow. That's the sound the birds are making. I don't do a very good bird. Sounds more like a scalded cat. Hooray, hooray! Their flapping, flipping, flying feet have cornered them. Lots of tasty treats. She's telling him thank you, isn't she? Jane's back down. Her work is through. Good night, Crane. Good night, crew. She's all done working. And there's a picture of that great big boat that she had all that stuff on. Where do you think we could see great big boats that might be hauling things?
Well, we could go to Lake Superior.
We could absolutely go to Lake Superior.
Which is just a little more than an hour away.
That's right, because it's in Duluth and Superior. They have cargo ships that come and go. That's pretty cool. Yep, Crane Jane, she did a great job.
Hey, Storytime friends, Teacher Missy.
Yes, Miss Tracy.
Anybody want to wave a scarf? Woo-hoo. So out of your Storytime kits, I want you to grab your scarf. I'm going to hand Teacher Missy her, remember what color hers is?
Do you guys know?
Green.
Yes, the green one, my fave. Thank you, Miss Tracy.
And you know, Storytime friends, one thing I love about Teacher Missy is that even though you can't see her, she is over here shaking her scarf like nobody's business. I'm telling you, she is a good scarf shaker. All right, so my friends, I would like you to grab your scarf or your paper towel or your sock or anything you've got that you can wave. And our first scarf song we're going to do, excuse me? Oh, of course. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. No, you didn't interrupt. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, story time, friends. Giraffe would like to join us today.
Oh, good
morning,
Teacher
Giraffe.
Missy.
Good morning, Storytime friends.
You know, Giraffe, you have a long neck, kind of like a crane.
I do!
Wow.
And when I have to go down to the ground, my whole neck goes down like that.
Isn't that something?
That was a very good observation, Teacher Missy. She is great, isn't she? Yeah, she really is. Yeah, okay, all right. All right, so, got your waiver? We're gonna start out with our scarf warm-up. And you guys all know this, here we go. My scarf goes up, my scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out, my scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! Ready? Let's do it fast. I love doing it fast.
I love it when we go fast.
I have to grab a different corner because I wrapped up that corner. Here we go. My scarf goes up, my scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out, my scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! Wow. Oh my goodness, that was a fast flying scarf. All right, now our next scarf song is called Crane's Reach. You ready for that? So we're gonna reach up high, we're gonna reach down low. You ready? Cranes reach up high, cranes reach down low, cranes reach really far, picking up their load. Cranes turn right, cranes turn left,
Cranes can dig and lift and fetch. Cranes reach up high, cranes reach down low. Cranes reach really far, picking up their load.
Should we do that one more time?
It's kind of a fun one.
I know, that's a fun one because we're reaching and stretching and our arm is like a crane. Here we go.
Cranes reach up high, cranes reach down low. Cranes reach really far, picking up their load. Cranes turn right, cranes turn left. Cranes can dig and lift and fetch. Cranes reach up high, cranes reach down low. Cranes reach really far, picking up their load.
Oh my goodness. And cranes are some incredible machines. Hey, thanks for playing. Story time, friends. Teacher Missy. What an incredible day I've had learning all about cranes.
They're fascinating.
And remember, they reach up high and they reach down low.
Yes, they do.
A crane can do so many things, and I can't think of another machine that works the same way that a crane does to pick up other machines.
I think they must be kind of at the top of that because I don't know if they'd come too much bigger than, or taller. They'd have to be pretty big and tall to pick up like some of those trucks and things.
And I have seen on the top of some cranes, they have flags. And you can see how windy it is. And if it's too windy, cranes can't operate.
No, because it's dangerous. The wind will blow the boom back and forth, and then they can, have an accident with it. Somebody would get hurt. So.
Yep. But oh my gosh! And Crane Jane managed to get that fire truck just stable with the help of some seagulls.
The seagulls were really a big help to her.
And such big cranes we saw in our book about cranes, and our crane got a new garage. How lovely was that? But now I think it's time to say goodbye.
You know what? It is.
Would you join us, Storytime friends? Here we go. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
You watch out for cranes, guys. Look around and see